if we do not stand up and fight and resist and prevail, it will go down. I mean, without good men resisting the evil, it absolutely will bring America down past on our knees. I mean, it'll bring us down to the pit if we don't.
It's relational with God, isn't it? I mean, it's a relationship. If we're doing righteousness and standing and being bold, he's not going to allow these things to happen. But there comes a point where God's got to call in his investment.
Yeah, and I'll say something else, Kelly. I'm sure you've seen this. You know, I'm thankful that I got woken up and stirred up to action and resistance and involvement before I got this conviction myself. But look at all the women that have risen up and stood up in strength and very just lovely, winsome, but strong and bold and irresistibly resistant. And I think he's doing that in part to shame the men. I think it's a Deborah type moment where there's supposed to be judges who are leading and prevailing over the wickedness who are men, but God's had to call up a bunch of women because too many of the men were cowering. And it's too late for that. If you're on your knees, if you're on your couch, like that picture in your little thing about the program for young men, you got to repent and you got to pray and you've got to reach down and find your cojones and pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get plugged in and get switched on now. Because we, Kelly and I, need you by our shoulder, side by side in this fight.
We're big guys, and apparently compared to John, I'm tiny, but I'm still 6'4", 240 pounds.
Well, hey, you know, just like I do, it's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fight. That's right. I know a lot of little dogs with a lot of fight.
It's not the first time I've felt small. I worked with world's strongest man competitor Robert Oberst for a while. 6'8" and 405 pounds or something like that. So they say the bigger you are,
right there.
The bigger you are as a man, the smaller you feel next to a larger man. So
I've experienced that. Ralph Sampson.
Oh wow,
he's 7'4", and so that's always interesting. I've run into him a few times.
I'm just going to turn in an article to George Magazine today about the weaponization of the U.S. government against school parents and how that's becoming a campaign issue. And I've interviewed Catalina Stube, who's the Hispanic outreach coordinator for Moms for Liberty, Seek Smith, who founded Mom Army and Dad Army, and then Emily Peterson, Moms for America. She's one of the, I forget what her title is, but Dr. James Lindsay, who's an advisor for Moms for Liberty. And I've made that case, like the mothers have done wonderful things, but they all agree, like, come on, Papa Bears, get in the fight.
They're putting us to shame. Their courage, their boldness, their frankness. It's lovely, but I get convicted. It's like, okay, well, I can't tell you how many Patriot groups I've spoken at, founded by women and led by women. I can't remember one. I take that back. I can remember one that was started by a man. All the others started by women. Come on, men. Let's get going. Lay down the NFL, lay down the college football.
Put down the video games.
Yeah, that's all simulation. And look, you can use that fire, that piss and vinegar. You can use it in this fight, but this is the fight that matters. It's not, did my team clear the spread on the game Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah.
This is the real fight.
Yeah.
Because it's for your sons and your daughters and your neighbors and your grandparents. Absolutely. This is the fight that matters.